Hello everybody and welcome back. Now, as some of you may know, in real life I'm a ramp agent. I'm not going to say where or for which company, but that's my job. So I thought it was only fitting that we check out Airport Sim. We're going to do a complete turn on the Airbus A320. We're only going to do things I'm trained to do in real life, and yeah, we'll share some of that with you.
Honey, honey, honey.
So here we are in Key West. Ordinarily, we'll get told which flight we're going to, and we'll get an idea of what's coming off the plane and what's going onto the aircraft. Now, the way this sim works is a bit different. I've set up the scenario, so I know what's coming off. Ordinarily, I'd get told by the head loader or the team leader or whatever you want to call it. But all we'll do is we'll just set up the stand to start with. We'll definitely need a tug. Oh, it's the same. It's TLD. It's the same company. It's literally the same tugs we have at work. These trailers, we call them Wessex where I am, and they're not massively heavy. Oh, these ones haven't got a curtain, so we have ones with curtains to make our life nice and easy. Oh, the controls are a bit sensitive. I will say, in real life, these tugs are really zippy, and you can go zooming in them. They are limited to the speed limit of my airport, but you can have quite a lot of fun with them. That'll do there. Right, so we've got cones. When I'm on cones, I usually try not to drop them like that. And I like to have I like to have a nice big pile. Too good. So we've got cones, chocks, a tug, and a trailer. We're gonna need ground power. Now for those, you see, look, there's trailers with curtains. We like them. And then these back here, the flatbed ones, these are for the, I don't know whether you've ever seen, I'll put a picture up. They have the container bins that your bag's in, and we literally just load the whole bin, and they arrive on the back of them. The airport I work at, they have both types of steps. So these ones that you tow and move about manually, and then these that you drive. Now the company I work for, we only have these sort of old school ones. Aha, this looks like ground power. Let's have a peek. Yeah, that's ground power. Right, so we could use another tug. Normally I'd have... Aha, here's one of those bins. This is a half-size one. But yeah, that's roughly what they look like. This is a more... I like this one. This is a posh ground power. Oh, we'll have the posh one. We need two of the, what we call belt loaders. The conveyor belt things for the bags to come off the aircraft. Now these are fairly, I enjoy driving these. These are good fun. The only thing is, because they stick out at the front and also the back, you have to be quite careful when turning, but otherwise they're good fun. That's our plane. Right, let's meet the aircraft and we can come back for the rest. So it's quite simple. Rear wheels, nose gear, chocks in, cones all the way round. I know this game wants the cones in slightly different places to where we do it, but I'll take you through and show you where we have ours. Now by this point the dispatcher will have done a walk around of the stand just to make sure there's no FOD, and we'll have had a small briefing on the stand just as a team to go through whatever might be coming off the flight. So, chocks in. And time for the cones. So we put the cones out so you know where to drive around. And it stops you from getting too close to the aircraft, so you always drive around the cones. Now, we don't put a cone on the nose. We do, however, get one in front of the engine. Then we have a further two, one there and one here. So we'll pop them out. One on the wing. We don't put the cone here on all aircraft. Some airlines request us to have it. One on the tail, that is standard. One on the wing. Oh, one on the wingtip, which go back. How is the wingtip out of the game area? One in front of this engine, and I don't know any airline where we put this cone out the back here, but for the game we will. Right, step number 2, ground power. So we'll jump in the tug, drive up to the aircraft, try and line it up nicely. That sounds good. We'll go disconnect the tug. So at my company, as standard practice, we never have 3 points of connection, so you would never plug the GPU into the aircraft whilst the tug's still connected, because you could accidentally drive off with the GPU still connected to the aircraft. Now there's a little flap just under the aircraft here, and you connect that in there. Usually a light comes on, we can see whether it will. We will need to start the GPU, which will be power, engine start. Looks all good. The lights aren't modelled on there. Looks good to me. Okay, this is going really well. We're going to try with the other one. Drive up to the aircraft, line it up, that'll do. Disconnect this, move the tug. So usually you have 3 or 4 people all working on that same flight. So you don't have to do absolutely everything by yourself, because that would just be impossible. Right, engine power, engine start. It's running, and we'll set it to run. And now we should be able to go flight deck, APU. It is turned on. Oh, whoops. I forgot the DC power output. We want this one, flight deck, APU, APU off. There we are. We can close that flap. We will open up the... Oh, that's really clever. I thought you just have to do that. So to open the hold of an A320, you have to lift this handle up, and then there's a flap underneath that you open, and then there's this... the door controls, which are operated like this. Close the flaps. We just tend to always close everything when we're not using it. So far, I'm very impressed by this, because I've heard people refer to it as a game, but so far everything's very accurate. Right, so that's open. We need to get the steps onto the plane. Let's just see what else it wants us to do. Insert bypass pin. Now, there is a difference. In the UK, or at least at the airport I work at, it's the pushback driver who inserts the bypass pin. So what do you want? Stairs. Oh, and it specifically wants the stair car. So, yeah, at my company, we don't have these drivable steps. We have to connect the tug to the stairs. But the principle of how to operate them is the same. I know other companies at the airport I work at have them. It's just not something that my company does. That looks pretty good, and we'll... I believe it's enter. Yeah. That's not bad at all. So the aircraft crew will open the door. We don't do that. And then the last step is we will put the safety barriers out so the passengers can get off. We also put one on the back. The game won't let me do it, so unfortunately we can't do that, but that's the steps. Time for arguably the most controversial bit. we don't throw suitcases. We're not allowed to. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't throw suitcases, because I know that some people do. I'll just put this up here. Now, also, I should mention at this point that for the conveyor belt, we always have somebody stood in front of us marshalling us in. So, because we're not allowed to touch the aeroplane, we can get, like, super close, but we can't actually make physical contact. So we always have a banks person to guide us in. I'm just going to... Oh, that... because you see that happens. If you try and guide yourself in, that from the cab, I thought that was touching, but clearly not. Come up a bit more. Ooh. I think that might be just... Yeah, see, we can even come a little bit more. Yeah, that gap will have to be fine. We need to bring the tug round. Now, we try not to drive under the wing, so that's kind of on the limit, I would say, as to what you can do safely. We'll activate the belt, make sure it's going the right way. Also, you never walk on a moving belt, but I don't quite know how. Oh, I can use this. When you get up here, these nets will be closed. The hold in an A320 does not look like this. So back here where this door is, this is hold 5. So this big grey net is one further forward. You've got one bit here, this bit, and then another compartment here where this wall wouldn't be like that. But otherwise, it's fairly accurate. So send the suitcases down on the belt. These are probably going to fall off the end. So you'd have one person in the hold, maybe two, and somebody at the other end to pick the suitcases up off the belt. Now, you may be wondering, why, Tom, have you unloaded the back first? Well, that's because if you unload everything from the front and there's still weight in the back, the aircraft has a tendency to tip, so the tail can start going down to the floor, and you end up with the nose gear in the air, and then you end up with a very angry airline rep and a very angry aeroplane, and maybe a damaged aircraft, which is the last thing anybody wants. How's that? That's pretty good. Happy with that. Let's come up here. The front, yeah, this is exactly what the front looks like. There'd be another net halfway down. Now, yes, again, we don't just drop your suitcases on the floor. There's usually somebody at the other end to pick them up. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that. Right, so we'll stop the belt. And whilst we're away from the aircraft, what we do is we put the belt down. We will take these bags to baggage reclaim. There we go, that's going in the right direction. We'll open this up, pick up the suitcase, rinse and repeat. Fantastic. 6 happy customers. We tend not to reverse with the trailers. Everything's all one way where I work, so it makes life easier. What have I done here? Oh, I've jackknifed it. Again, on a day-to-day, somebody else brings the luggage to the aircraft. So we do go and take it to reclaim, but somebody else brings it to the plane for us. Similar to unloading, we just do it the other way round. So it'll be front first, followed by the back. So 3 in the front, 3 in the back. Quite simple. Let's get up here and stack them. Try and stack them nicely. Not like that, so you want to stack them the other way around. So that the handles are facing out. It makes it easier to offload. Nice and lovely. Oh, look at that. Now that is how it's done. This is how it's done perfectly. Fantastic. And then we can close up. Door comes down. Close the flap. Close the door. That's one. I don't know whether you know this, but when the plane's on the ground, you can like stick your head in, have a spin of the fan blade. Fantastic. Right, let's get the steps off. Ordinarily, we'd close the door first, then retract the barriers, just so like I can't fall off. We'll do a quick walk around, make sure there's no damage to anything. Hop back in. We can take the confirmed connection, bring the stabilizers, and we should be able to reverse from the aircraft. Right, now at this point, this is where we ask the flight crew if we can take the power out, which is a very simple sign, hand vertical like that, power off. And usually they'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. They might give you 2 minutes. It all depends on where they are at. So what we do is in the game we'll go flight deck, APU, turn on the APU. And so here where we're waiting for the APU to start, that's a like 2 minute scenario. If they've already started it, then they'll just give the power out. Okay, you know, it's fairly simple stuff. 100% disconnect the GPU. So first, before you pull it out, you have to turn it off. Like so. And then you come up here, grab the end, put it back down, close the flap, connect it back up to the tug. Oh! I don't know how that happened. There's no damage to the aircraft though. I'm not even entirely sure what went on there. But again, we'll move all this out of the way. Oh, sorry, am I in your way, sir? Close that up. We will clear vehicles from the area. And the cones. So we'll just start grabbing these cones. Coney cone. Do the do, please. Stack nicely. 1, 2. Drop them. And then last but not least, when everybody's happy, you grab the chocks from all 3 wheels. And she's ready to go. Now, the game wants me to remove the bypass pin. That doesn't happen until the pushback is complete. So, I'm not quite sure why we're doing that. And then you do the walk around of the aircraft, which is what it wants me to do here. But the walk around's done by the headset person who communicates with the pilots during the pushback. And there we have it. That is how you turn around an Airbus A320. Now there are some other things that go off, like cleaning services and all sorts. Things that I personally am not involved in. That's just an insight into what I do. In terms of Airport Sim as a game, if you're interested in ground handling, it's very good, it's very realistic. Now Key West, where this is set at the minute, is a very different airport to the one I work at. So there's a few little things that are different. But otherwise, I'm very impressed. It's been good fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. But that's all from me. So thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the live streams, in the comments, and in the other videos. Goodbye.